Well, I was going to tell a story, or I was going to try to.
Okay, go on.
And I thought maybe I might try and, screen record and put it on YouTube or something. I don't know, but because it's almost Peace Corps Day.
Oh, a Peace Corps Day.
Yeah, Peace Corps was founded on March 1st, 1961. And I thought since I'm on vacation, I might try and tell some of my old Peace Corps stories from when I was in there. And one of them is I know exactly where I was New Year's Eve, 2012, because I hiked a mountain. So I was on Lombok and I had hiked Gunung Rinjani, and we timed it so that I would be at the summit
exactly on the...
Yeah, exactly like when, how was that?
On the 12th
When the sun
a.m.
came up. We wanted to see the sunrise.
Oh.
So yeah, it was like
Yeah.
not 12 a.m. So yeah, so that's how that was. So we hiked, and it was dark, and it was kind of scary, but we hiked up there and the sun came up. And there's a picture of me at the top on New Year's Day, 2012. But the actual story is actually before that, because I was gonna fly there to Sengigi on Lombok, but there was this terrible traffic jam, and we couldn't move for the longest time, and so I missed my flight. Some cat action going on here.
She's got a mattress, her special mattress.
It's just so crazy.
She's so spoiled.
I know, we've seen this before too in Da'an Park a couple times. Like, there's cats, and the owner always just lets the cat do whatever. But anyway, going back, so there was this traffic jam, and I missed the flight, and so I ended up still getting there though, but I got there really late, and to my hotel, and they had closed everything down, but I was really hungry, and so I didn't really know what I was going to do. But there was this European dad sitting there, and his daughter was there kind of running around. She was like a teenage daughter, and he said, hey, if you want, you can sit with us. So I sat there and joined them. And this would happen all the time when I was in Peace Corps. You meet people when you're traveling. I would go to Singapore sometimes, and people would just strike up a conversation with me. I know I had dinner once with a complete stranger from India in Singapore once, and this was also something. These people were from Belgium. The dad was from Belgium. He was a publisher. He said he was on Lombok for vacation, and
I think I remember you told me a story about that.
yeah. And so I had dinner with him, and he wanted to know who I was and what I was doing. And I said I was a Peace Corps volunteer, and he just kind of said, he just kind of shook his head and was like, "Oh, why does everything in America have to do with war? Even when it's peace, you have to have that word core in there." And I didn't know what to say to that, because the Peace Corps, it's very idealistic, and I think it's one of the best programs that have ever existed in the history of the entire human race. So, I have a very high opinion of the Peace Corps, so when somebody disparages it, I'm always kind of sensitive to that. So he said that, and I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I never thought of it like that, and it stayed with me for a very long time. And I started to kind of wonder about it, like, why do we need to call it Peace Corps like that? I wish it didn't have a war association in the name of it. And
Peace Park?
Yeah, Peace Park. That's why we're here.
Okay.
But anyway, later I started to study Latin, and I really got into it. And I'm not that great at Latin, but I'm still studying it, and I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to Latin. And one of the lessons I took was about habeas corpus, and that is actually where the word core comes from. I think it was Napoleon, I think, who took the word core and applied it to the military for the first time. But before that, it actually had its root in one of the best, human rights actions we've ever done, which is the writ of habeas corpus. But in Latin, it's habeas corpus. And what that means is habe, which is have, and a is the subjunctive mood, you should have, and then the s is you in Latin. So habeas is you should have, and then corpus is your body. So habeas corpus means you should have your body, and what it means is that you can't just take somebody and put them in jail without a good reason. Is this used to happen? And before the writ of habeas corpus, if the government didn't like you or the people in power didn't like you, they would just take you and put you in prison. And so they made this writ of habeas corpus so that they couldn't do that. So when I learned about this, it really blew my mind, and I thought that, I'm going to choose, when I think of Peace Corps, to associate that with habeas corpus instead of the core that we get from Napoleon. So just a little bit of a thing there, kind of a cool story that I remember from when I went to Lombok and hiked the mountain on New Year's Day, 2012. You got anything you want to add to that, baby?
I've got my eyes on the cat only.
The cat is on the move again.